welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name, as always, is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user... God, I'm going to pronounce this so terribly wrong. Noki Juxus, and he's driving the Tiger 1 on an encounter battle on Malinovka. So right off the bat, I just want to apologise for how my voice is going to sound during this recording. At the time of recording, I'm still feeling pretty ill, but I'm going to try and summon up as much enthusiasm for this replay as I can. So I might not be as enthusiastic as normal, but so the only reason for that is just I don't think my voice is going to be up to being that enthusiastic. Takes a hit in the side straight off the bat there. Did hit him in the side of the turret, so it's either going to be at a steep angle or from a low caliber weapon. So looks like they've got an early scout in the area, although not really sure where he is, as the allied AMX-12T goes barreling over the hill and spots out a couple of the heavies as they're coming up. A brace of KV-1Ss there. Surprised that AMX-12T didn't get himself taken out. Finds the enemy's AMX-12T, so he obviously spotting them out as they came up the hill there, maybe. So I think we're just going to call him Knock from now on, as it's going to be easier to pronounce. Gets himself to the top of the hill. Going to see if he can try and get a shot on the side of this AMX-12T. Looks like he's dropping back behind the hill. Going to angle himself in a side scraping position, because these KV-1Ss can be pretty damn dangerous. Going to see if he can pick somebody out. He's got a wealth of choices to make here. Decides to go for the IS. Gets a good hit onto the top of him. Does take a shot in return, though. Excuse me, just adjusting my chair mid-recording there. So again, took another hit in the side of his turret. He's going to pop back over the top and see if he can get a shot on someone else. Can see the top of that T-29's turret, but you have to be careful with that thing. Even if you do land a good shot right on the top of the turret, sometimes it can just bounce thanks to the very, very thick armor of that thing. Does get a beautiful shot on the commander's hatch, but as you see, that one just missed, as it's a pretty small target there. Allies look like they're having the best of this one here, as they are holding the top of the hill and stopping the enemy team from pushing on. But what you may have noticed is around about here, there is a big contingent of enemy tanks pushing around behind the allied force. And although the allied team is holding the hill pretty successfully here, the allies are losing 3 kills to 0 at the moment, as the enemy team is employing much better tactics. Claw a kill back, but is it going to be enough? It is still early on in the battle, though. Knock just heading back to take a look over this area and see if he can offer some help there. Gets a hit on the KV-1S. You may have noticed that there are no voices in this. I think that's just down to the fact that this is actually an older replay. It's not even the most recent patch before 9.0, it's even older than that, so there will maybe some errors with the replay. Most noticeably, the voices appear to be missing. And didn't notice that while reviewing the replay originally. Gets a hit on that 12T there by the looks of it. Oh no, so the getting hit by stuff voice is apparently still there, but I'm fairly certain he hit that 12T as his icon flashed, although that may just be my eyes. So it looks like the enemy team has absolutely wiped them out on that left-hand side there. But the contingent still holding strong on the hill here. Unfortunately, that is all they have, is the guys on the hill. And as you see, this 12T pushes up, and Knock just bounces that one, unfortunately. So a little bit unfortunate there. Second shot doesn't quite hit. I think that one may have bounced as well. So not having very much luck here. Excuse me, just trying to sort my throat out right now. So we're going to be covering off the rear of the allied spearhead here, we can call it. The last few remnants of the force. Still on top of the hill, still holding strong on that one. But it looks like most of the enemy team have dropped back off the hill into the forest now. They've got a, 1 or 2 tanks in an advanced position. The spot gets a lovely shot on that KV-1S to take him out there. Lovely little snap reflexes. Got to be careful though, because he is going to be spotted. Luckily for him though, there's no artillery in the game, and nobody else from any position is really going to have a shot on him. Enemy team doing the smart thing here of putting some tanks into the cap circle. So at least that way it's going to put the pressure on the allies that they're going to have to come down from their mountain at some point in order to try and reset that cap. There's only one person in the cap circle at the moment, so Nox got over 3 minutes and just take his time with this one. Indeed he does, as he finds a Tiger in the distance there and gets a shot on him. He's going to just slowly make his way towards the cap circle, but again finds a Tiger P here. And Tiger P looks like he's being a pain in the backside, as he's just kind of sat on that hill and nobody can really penetrate him from the front. But it looks like Nox can penetrate him just fine from the side. Gets 2 good hits on him. Enemy team putting a second tank in the cap circle now, so just increasing the pressure a little bit. Still got over a minute left, so got a lot of time, so just going to concentrate on trying to take out this Tiger P. Going to angle himself for this Tiger that he's taken fire from earlier, and one more good hit, and indeed he gets it, and he takes out that Tiger P, and that's kill number 2, and he's going to move off now. As you can see, he's got about 45 seconds left on the capture clock. Just going to see if he can get some hits on the guys from the side, so if he can help take out those guys that are pressuring the hill from that right-hand side. That's going to allow his allies to come down from the hill and offer him some support. But you can see that the base capture is progressing pretty quickly now. We're down to 30 seconds already, and Nox nowhere near to reset the base just yet. Down to around about 20 seconds. He's not going to have time to get around, I think, where he was originally intending to go, which is all the way around the water. So he's just going to cut left here and try and take to the high ground to see if he can spot somebody out. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. This is getting very, very risky now. There's nobody else on the hill going to be able to do anything about it. This is all on Nox. Pre-aims in sniper mode, finds the T-29, takes his shot, no time to aim, gets the reset with 1 second left on the clock. Absolutely awesome piece of work there. Does take a couple of shots from the defenders in return, but the problem is now they've still got this second tank in the cap circle working up cap points. Problem is, if Nox puts himself out just now, he's going to take damage from that T-29 and possibly get taken out. So he's going to try his best to stay alive and take this T-29 out. You can see the allies firing from the hill. Has a shot blind into the bush there, just in case that's where the other tank almost certainly is, as he can't see him. But he's got to take out this T-29 now as quickly as possible. Sets him on fire, and that's probably the best thing that could have happened now. And Nox got to try and find this tank, who's admittedly still got 30 seconds, 25 seconds on the cap clock now. But he just cannot see him, and he's got no time to get any closer, so he's going to have to take a shot. And there he is. Made a big mistake there of opening fire, although I'm pretty sure that Nox would have been able to find him anyway, given enough time, and he gets another good hit on the 59-16 here. And he's only a light tank, so one more hit. No, just about misses that one, which is a little bit unfortunate, and he's backed off. And starts to make a run to the right-hand side. I think he's going to try and take cover behind the corpse of this T-29. But as we've seen earlier, the tanks from the hill are able to reach this this location. And there we go. The Black Prince takes him out handily. And that is the base capture all dealt with. And that is now the score, all even at 12 kills to 12. But as you can see, the Black Prince and the T-29 on the hill not looking particularly healthy. Now, man, he has got the most hit points of his team at 860, and he is also down in the thick of the fighting. You can see by the last known locations that almost all of the enemy tanks are going to be camping over on their spawn circle. Not really wanting to leave the safety of that, as they'll get picked off by the guys on the hill. You can see that T-29 getting taken down to 99 hit points. So both of them now definitely a one-shot kill from anybody else left. So Nox decides to make a move through the water here. Does find one of the Tigers. He's making a beeline for the cap circle. Unfortunately, Nox getting some good hits on him. Gets 2 good shots on him there before he gets into cover. Takes cover behind the corpse of that T-29. And fire coming down from the hill. Luckily for the allies, though, he's still got 3 minutes on the clock for him to be able to capture this base all by himself. So allies got really all the time in the world. Nobody able to land good shots on him, so he is taking good cover here. But I think Nock is going to do the smart thing here as the Black Prince gets himself taken out by the Tiger 1. So obviously with them firing from the top of the hill, they're revealing their positions. Nock doing the smart thing here of just changing location to try and get a hit on this Tiger 1. And there we go, gets a beautiful shot on him to reset the cap, and that puts the clock all the way back to three and a quarter minutes. He's got to be careful because he's not fantastically healthy himself. Gets taken down to 600 hit points. But he's doing the smart thing of just leaving that Tiger in the cap circle and concentrating on taking out the other two guys here. Only one more hit on this Tiger will be enough, and there we go. That's kill number 4. He's going to come up behind this T-29, take him out, and then that'll allow his T-29 to offer him some support in decapping. Got to be careful though, this T-29 isn't focusing on his position. No, it looks like he is fantastically oblivious of what's going on. He's still stubbornly pointing his gun up the hill. Not doing the smart thing of just dropping back. Gets a beautiful hit to take out some hit points and his tracks. One more hit should be enough to take him out, and indeed he picks it up. And that's kill number 5 and 5,000 points of damage. And that just leaves this one enemy Tiger in the cap circle. You can see the allied T-29 going to be making his way down the hill. The two of them going to have to come at this guy. But as you can see, Nock did the smart thing of just leaving him in the cap circle as he had 3 minutes left on that clock. They could focus on taking out the Tiger and taking out the T-29. And then both switching their attention once they're dead to try and decap and take this guy out. Doesn't look like he's got a shot on him from here, but he's still got 2 minutes on the clock, so if necessary, he's going to be able to flank all the way around him. But I think what he's doing is just going to be keeping him spotted for the T-29 to go around to the right-hand side and get a shot on him. Still trying to find anything he can. Has a shot, hopefully trying to lure him out. Switches to high explosive rounds. So hopefully just the splash damage will be able to do something. And there we go. Gets another damaging hit on him. And that's going to be pretty much GG now as the T-29 is flanked around to the right-hand side. Nock is here on the left-hand side. And the two of them are just going to be able to wear this guy down. No problem whatsoever. He's going to have nowhere to hide. If he pokes out too far to the right, the T-29 is going to get him too far to the left. And the Tiger is going to get him. Although he is still pretty well hidden. Hopefully the shots here from Nock are going to force him to drive backwards a little bit. Just getting critical hits, unfortunately. But the T-29 comes up with the goods, takes him out, and that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there, picking up 5 kills, 5,200 points of damage. Not quite a Top Gun medal, but a well-deserved victory, and almost certainly a Defender medal. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Dupe35. That's Dupe35, and he is driving the Centurion 7-1 on a standard battle on the mines. I think that map is a little bit too large. There we go, that's probably a little bit better. So Centurion 7-1 being a Tier 9 medium tank for the British. This thing is pretty damn good. It's a lot better than its successor, the FV, which has kind of been named the red-headed stepchild of the medium line. It's kind of the tank that nobody really wants to drive. So Dupe going to be doing what a good medium tank driver does, and that's going to be heading towards the hill. Gets a good hit on that Type 61 early on. His ally in the 50-120 going to be taken to the hill. Did notice he bounced 2 shots there before finally taking a damaging shot. So that's good work by a 50-120 to be able to bounce something. And judging by the cannons that were arranged just on the other side of this rock, that was definitely some good work. Gets a lovely snapshot on that Super Pershing there. Some more of his allies have turned up. His T-69 comes to try and use that auto-loader cannon, and he just gets evaporated because there's way too many tanks in this location for him to be able to do that. But luckily for him, well, not for him, but for the IS-6, his death allows the IS-6 to push up on the hill. His Super Pershing's just getting punished here, and for some reason is still driving forward. But I think that's just because he's got the support of this E-75. Duke gets his track taken out, but it doesn't really matter because he can just wait here for the Super Pershing and just work him down. As you see there, he did pretty much, well, not pretty much, he did do all 1,500 points of damage to this Super Pershing with 4 shots taking him out. I don't know why he kind of just hung around and took hit after hit after hit. It's another good hit on that Type 61 from earlier. As you can see, the enemy team is just really obsessed with this hill. They must have heard that there's gold still in that mine there, as they are just obsessed with getting up here. The C-75 finally gets some damage back onto Dupe, but Dupe was able to take his track out, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a much better reload. Unfortunately, this T-28 comes into view, so Dupe just going to drop back and use the T-28 as cover from the E-75. The enemy Tiger 2, not really sure what he was doing on that left-hand side, drove right around that corner with his gun facing in completely the wrong direction and then fired at a rock, so maybe he's suffering from a little bit of lag or idiocy, not really sure. But in the meantime, Duke takes out that T-61, and that's thinned out the numbers on the hill considerably. This E-75's decided that he doesn't want any part of this battle anymore, and he just starts to drop back. Unfortunately, he's not doing a very good job of dropping back very quickly. To be honest, he probably would have been safer staying at this rock, getting into a side-scraping position or something of the sort. As it is, his daylight flee across the open field gets himself taken out by Duke, which is no surprise whatsoever. And that just leaves this T-28 who tries exactly the same tactic of fleeing openly across the field there. But Duke not really wanting any of that and just decides to let him go as he spots a 30-02D across the way. Unfortunately, didn't get a damaging shot on the 30-02. But it was able to take his track out. Got a few seconds left on his reload. Gets a good chunk of damage through his side armor there. And just got to wait for this cannon to reload. And there we go. The 30-02 is back up and operational. But he's kind of a little bit indecisive of where he wants to go. Decides to start and make a run for it. And takes another big hit. And he gets taken out. No problem whatsoever. So it looks like while we were talking, that T-28 did get himself taken out. Duke going to find a T-20 here out in the open. He has got some cover to play with, namely the shape of the land there. Gets shot in the rear there by that T-25-2 and set on fire. And I'm not even sure where that shot came from. There we go. It looks like it came from the other island there. So Duke going to have to drop back and try and get into cover. Only got a few hit points left, 250. Luckily bounces that one. He's taking sustained damage from that left-hand side. And although the platoon here on the Allied team is doing fantastically well themselves, the rest of the team not doing particularly great. They are winning 9 kills to 8, but 9 kills to 9 now. So everything is all even at this stage. Problem you've got to look at now is the enemy team is very tank destroyer heavy, and this is going to be a long drawn out protracted battle, because if we know tank destroyers in World of Tanks, they're going to be camping as far back as is humanly possible. Finds the ISU-152 and destroys the ISU-152, and that's a nice handy kill number 5 for Dupe now. As you can see, most of the tank destroyers have relocated to try and defend the base because there's a push coming from this right-hand flank. There is still a Rheinmetall on the island somewhere. Dupe going to see if he can spot him, but gets detected himself, so he's going to have to drop back. That Rheinmetall doing a good job of spotting out here. KV4 in the meantime has gotten himself killed. Gets spotted again from somewhere, so I'm not really sure where that Rheinmetall is. Ah, there he is. He has advanced all the way up the island here to try and fend off the attack from that T-54. Does a good amount of damage to him. Unfortunately, not quite able to get the reload in time. Or did he? No, he didn't. Still got the same amount of hit points. Got to play it careful, though, as that T-25 we saw earlier was in position on that island where the Rheinmetall is. And he's probably just going to stay behind those rocks, as he doesn't want to get shot by the T-54 here. He's got plenty of cover to work with, and if that T-54 moves up to try and take him out, that's going to be curtains for him. But the Rheinmetall fires now, and the T-54 should probably use this opportunity to try and charge him down. As depending on what cannon he's got, I'm pretty sure the T-54 should be able to reload. Nope, gets himself killed, and does 1 shot of damage in return. Oh, and the T-25-2 from earlier takes out the AMX 5120, his platoon mate there. And these guys are just in absolute turtle mode now. Going to try and just hold position, hold down the fort. Problem the Allied team have is, although the score screen says it's 12-12, which is all even, their T-43 is AFK in the base there, and so they're really missing a tank here, so losing by 1 kill at the moment, and with them having the enemy team pushed all the way back to their base, they can't even utilise the T-43 as a proxy scout. Duke going to try and get in position here, past these rocks. And going to try and spot out this Rheinmetall, as he's been very, very sneaky on that island. But he's got to play it carefully, because last time he poked himself out to do some work, he did get spotted. The Allied Rheinmetall being smart and just hanging around these buildings here. Duke pokes himself out, has a look, doesn't spot anybody, but it doesn't look like he's been spotted himself. So I'm pretty sure, there we go, there's the AT-15. Gets spotted by the Rheinmetall, and the Rheinmetall does a good chunk of damage to him. Hopefully Duke can get himself out and get another hit on him. Fades away back into Camo OP. Takes him out. The T-25-2 has been playing very, very cagey this whole match, and he's still got full hit points. So the Allies have got to be careful. Is able to get a good hit on him there, but takes a shot in return. Doesn't want to take any chances of where that other Rheinmetall is, so repairs his track just to get into cover in time. Now he's definitely only 1 shot from death with 52 hit points left. That enemy Rheinmetall still on the other island, and this one is pretty much going to be an absolute uphill mountaineering expedition for Duke now. So he's got this T-25-2. Not really sure if he's a 1 shot or not, but they are kind of covering each other off. If he pokes out to get one, he may get hit by the other, and a beautiful snapshot there to take out the T-25-2. Really needed a bit of luck there, and indeed he got a bit of luck to take out that T-25-2, pick up kill number 7, and that just leaves himself versus this Rheinmetall. Problem is, last time we saw the Rheinmetall, he had 413 hit points left. So that's going to be... Now, is that 2 shots? Let's have a look at his ammunition. No, he could take him out with 1 shot if he's lucky, if he gets a high roll. If he doesn't get a high roll, then he's going to be a 2 shot. And the Centurion 7-1 of Duke 35 here, definitely only a 1 shot himself. So he only has 52 hit points. So we're going to speed this one up, because let me tell you, this little camp off does last for quite some time. Problem is here that their T-43 is AFK. Now what the Duke does the smart thing here of taking to the high ground to watch over the base and use the T-43 as a proxy scout. The only problem is, I don't think this Rheinmetall really has any intention of wanting to win the game. I think his intentions are just to go for the draw like a scumbag. So he is just going to firmly sit on his island and refuse to move for the rest of this game. As you can see, only 2.5 minutes on the clock now, and every time Duke goes past a rock, he gets spotted by this Rheinmetall, so just going to back off. Now what he's going to have to do, as you can see here, is go for the base capture. So he's trying to come all the way around the back of these buildings to go for the base. But as you can see, he gets spotted out at every turn. Even from this distance, he gets spotted by the Rheinmetall. And again, just dropping back and trying to use cover. But as you can see, there's only a minute left on the clock now. And he's getting spotted out at every single turn. And that just says to me that this Rheinmetall is definitely not playing for the win. He's being a scumbag and playing for the draw. And the problem now is, with only 40 seconds left on the clock, Duke can't go for a base capture as there isn't enough time. Hasn't been spotted here, but again, there's only 30 seconds on the clock, so really, he's got to go for the kill now with only 20 seconds left on the clock. He's managed to get behind this building without being spotted now. Going to poke himself out and try and find the Rheinmetall. There he is. He's looking in the wrong direction. Duke's able to get one good hit on him. Takes a shot in the side of his tracks, but that one gets eaten by the tracks, and as you can see, 3 seconds on the clock, the Rheinmetall backs off like a scumbag, going for the draw, but Duke's able to take him out and pick up kill number 8 with 1 second or 2 left on the clock there. Absolutely awesome bit of play there from Dupe35 in his Centurion 7-1, picking up a total of 8 kills and almost 7,800 points of damage and snatching victory from the jaws of a draw. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave me a like and stick a comment in the comment section below, letting me know exactly what you thought of the 2 replays today. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.